AC, the program director, checking in here. I just wanted to go live with a statement here that I type in a lot on the internet, but a lot of people don't see the things that I type or the things that I post in picture forms. So I'm going to make this statement in person, so hopefully more people will see it and understand that I want everybody to come together in order to overcome and overthrow the tyrannies and the injustices that we see that are at the root of our government. We have to stop believing in the soap opera and the theater that they produce for us. You know, when we watch the news and we think we're being more informed, a lot of times we're being more misinformed. And one of the things about that is when people are attacking the administration or attacking the president, they don't understand that there's people behind that we don't get to see or vote for, that are in control or in power. So when you're attacking the administration, I'm thinking the administration, this whole government system since day one is a Hollywood shit show for the sheep to believe in. In 2026, only the most brainwashed and conditioned sheep still have any blind faith in anything about Uncle Scam on any level. We don't need a new powerless political decoy to blame or to give credit for anything that the government's doing. We need a whole new identity as a continent. No more White House. No more national anthem evil song. No more human trafficking, modern day slavery, colonists running the show, the red, the white, and the blue house pedo club. We don't need it. The national anthem is an evil song. They say that we're disrespecting the troops if we don't salute that song. But if the troops are supposed to be protecting America's freedom, justice, and equality, that song represents the opposite of equality. Because if you don't know, there's 3 verses to the song. They only sing the first verse at all the sporting events. But the third verse says that all slaves that flee are in the grave. The 13th Amendment says that slavery never ended. That slavery only ended for people that aren't prisoners. So if you're a prisoner, you're getting slave labor. And everybody who's locked up right now by ICE, who's not a hardcore criminal, is getting paid slave labor. This is a modern day slave trade. This is the American industrial prison complex making money off of modern day slaves. So, as we continue, I just want to say this. I think we should all need to try seeing the world through the eyes of the Creator and not a man-made corporation, nationality, religion, etc. How about being a human being and not supporting the modern-day slave trade, human trafficking, pedo protecting leadership of this corporation or country? The 13th Amendment makes slave labor illegal except for prisoners. Every person behind bars since then is a modern-day slave. What is the ICE movement? A huge part of the modern-day slave trade and American prison industry. Taxation without representation never ended with the Revolutionary War. That was just the theater of it. That was the narrative that the government put out to the people to convince them to go to war for their independence. But now our government just does it more, and definitely in a more covert way. They give us the illusion that we get to vote, but when we vote, it's all set up and rigged. There's already a predetermined outcome, and they have a plan that's in power that the person that's in office is just going to be the puppet for. They have no power or control. We're voting for puppets, and we're blaming and crediting actors, public figures. We don't get to vote on the people in power. Those public figures are all political decoys. So, if taxation without representation never ended and got just worse and covert, the same thing is happening with slave trading and human trafficking, like the pedos running the show. It's all getting worse with time. And I'm not talking about the elected public officials in office that are all protecting the pedophiles on the left and right. I'm talking about the people actually in control who we never get to see or vote for. We need to be ready for a real revolution and face the truth about the evil roots of Uncle Scam. These evil roots are still in the national anthem song, which in the third verse says that all slaves that flee are in the grave. They never changed the lyrics of the song or the song, and they say you're disrespecting the troops if you don't salute the evil song, which is ass backwards logic. if the troops are supposed to be protecting America's freedom, justice, and equality, that song represents the opposite of all that. It's just like the Confederate flag, just as shameful of a symbol of human history as the Confederate flag, the national anthem. So if you salute that song and stand up for that song, you're being disrespectful to the troops in actuality. So America, the great brainwashing machine, is the greatest threat to the future of humanity on planet Earth. We can't afford any more blind faith in this Hollywood production of illusions, deceptions, and soaps for all the suckers. We are headed proudly fast for self-destruction with its evil definition of so-called freedom, or greedom. We are the problem. The United States of America and our allies, we are the problem. This planet needs us to find a new planet. People will say, go to another country. I'm like, this country is my planet. My planet is this country. My president is the creator. My vice president is Mother Nature. Who's the enemy and the greatest threat to the future of my country? The United Snakes of America and its allies. If you watch the news, you are being programmed by the evil red left White House, the KKK, the White House, and the right, the blue. This is a colonized establishment. The soaps and actor public figures voting, etc., is all a distraction. Trump is the goat of all scapegoats, of all distractions. How anybody believes this soap politics theater of mass media brainwashing is beyond my comprehension. Attacking the soap opera political decoys is exactly what they plan. When Trump is gone, they'll have the same people running the show and another political decoy for us to blame. We won't get to see or vote for these people ever. Time is telling. The roots are rotten. We must boycott, abandon, and abort the red, white, and blue. If they work for the White House, the hush money is too good. That's why a lot of the so-called left have went along with delaying the release of the files. That's why they're not letting the state investigate that ICE murder. There's no left or right. They're all getting hush money. And it's all a plan by people who we'll never get to see or vote for. The so-called presidents are puppets. The only power they have is over your attention. You're being distracted by their theater. So when he's gone, remember I told you, all of these selected, not elected, but selected public officials are political decoys, actors to give us the illusion that we get to vote for our leaders. It's all soaps for the sheep. We must all come together and realize this first, and then only allow leaders who have no roots in the colonization of this continent. No more colonizers. No more roots of the colonizers are affordable. We have no more time to afford any trust in anything that has anything to do with this money machine or this corporation. We have to abort the American dream, because it's not. It's a nightmare. You cannot fix a system that's built to keep the masses broke. You can't fix it. You can't infiltrate it. You can't vote people in office. They're all getting hush money. If they weren't, then the files would have been released a long time ago. And the people involved with that, in that community where that murder happened by ICE, they wouldn't be barred or not allowed to investigate the crime that happened in their own city by the police, or the ICE, or the police. They're the same thing. They're all protecting the money machine, not the people. Stealing from the poor and giving to the rich. That's all they're doing.